Queen Camilla has been suffering from a type of pneumonia, forcing her to withdraw from a ceremony welcoming the Qatari leader and his wife.
Doctors thought it best she stays out of the cold to help with her recovery.
Recent events have shaken the royal family and left the nation stunned. In a heartbreaking announcement, they revealed unexpected news about Queen Camilla, a figure admired for her grace and quiet strength. What led to this revelation? And what exactly does it entail? Join us as we look into the emotional details behind this unexpected royal moment. Concerning news about Queen Camilla. An alarming development regarding Queen Camilla has raised the concerns of many, as Buckingham Palace disclosed that the Queen is still struggling with health issues.
We've had a short statement from Buckingham Palace confirming the Queen's condition. It simply reads, Her Majesty the Queen is currently unwell with a chest infection for which her doctors have advised a short period of rest.
Her Majesty has been succumbing to a protracted chest infection, which has compelled her from public duties for months, an unusual circumstance for anyone so professionally engaged in royal duties. The first symptoms indicative of an issue appeared in early November, when the palace reported that Queen Camilla had been recommended by her physicians to go into convalescence. At the time of writing, a statement specified, "It was announced that Her Majesty the Queen was currently dealing with a chest infection and, following her doctor's advice, was taking a short break. It was stated with great regret that she had to withdraw from her engagements for the week, though she expressed hope of recovering in time to participate in the weekend's remembrance events as usual." Tragically, however, Her Majesty was not able to take part in remembrance events, a holy and important part of the royal family timetable. The palace issued another statement saying, "Following doctors' guidance to ensure a full recovery from a seasonal chest infection, and to protect others from any potential risk, it was announced that Her Majesty would not attend that weekend's remembrance events." While this caused her significant distress, it was stated that she would observe the day quietly at Buckingham Palace and hope to resume public duties the following week. The pronouncement attracted great sympathy, as the Queen has always been a staunch traditionalist in the royal way of life. However, her health and well-being understandably took precedence.
Well, Queen Camilla has revealed the chest infection, which caused her to miss several royal duties, was a form of pneumonia.
A glimmer of hope came on November 12th, when Queen Camilla made an appearance at an event. Attendees observed her effort to perform her job to the best of her ability, even while unfinished in her recovery. She addressed her condition with her signature warmth, saying she was clearly feeling much better, although there was still a bit of coughing. Unfortunately, this optimism was short-lived. Indeed, just a few days later, Buckingham Palace announced that Her Majesty would be able to engage in the shorter element of the state visit to Qatar. Although she still intended to go to the gala official dinner, Queen Camilla had to forego the arrival ceremony and opted to not go to the receiving line, arriving at Buckingham Palace in a car. Sources close to the palace have reassured the public that her condition has not worsened. According to People, it was understood that there had been no change to her diagnosis or treatment, and that Queen Camilla was simply taking more time to recuperate. Nevertheless, her continued absence from key events had left many concerned about the toll the illness might be taking on her. This protracted battle has been both unexpected and painful for the many people who have admired the Queen's determination and fortitude. By reason of her unyielding sense of duty, her present state of health has been reminding all of the fragility of existence. As the nation continues to send its prayers and well wishes, the hope remains that Queen Camilla will soon make a full recovery and return to her duties with the strength and grace she is celebrated for. For the moment, her health comes first, and people are behind her. Is there a known cause for this strange chest pain the Queen is experiencing? Queen Camilla reveals cause of chest pain.
Some breaking royal news now, and Queen Camilla has been forced to withdraw from key engagements after being diagnosed with a chest infection. Live to Ash Mullaney in London. Ash, the Queen is recovering at home at the moment. How's she doing?
There's a mix of good and bad news about Queen Camilla's health, as she gradually reduces her royal activities in order to recover from a chest infection. On December 3rd, during the Buckingham Palace festivities for the Qatari state visit, the Queen, 77, finally shared more details about her condition. She disclosed that the disease initially reported by the palace on the 5th of November as chest infection was pneumonia. The good news? We now know the cause of the chest pain and coughing that has plagued her for weeks. The bad news? Queen Camilla continues to suffer residual symptoms, namely post-viral fatigue, which may persist for as long as completely may resolve. However, despite all of these difficulties, Queen Camilla turned out in high spirits as she went into Buckingham Palace on December 3rd. She walked in at the right moment, irrespective of anyone, by leaving the car and taking a step alone with her poise, adjusting the jacket before climbing the steps of the palace. However, her participation in the state visit has been adjusted to accommodate her health needs. On the eve of the Qatari state visit, it was announced that Queen Camilla would not take part in the traditional kickoff ceremony at the Horse Guards Parade, an outdoor event that involves standing in the cold and returning to the palace via carriage, a bumpy ride that could have been physically taxing. Instead, the Queen met only in the afternoon at a luncheon to receive the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and his wife, Her Highness Sheikha Jawahir bint Hamad bin Suhaim Al Thani. At the luncheon, Her Majesty also looked at artifacts which are culturally and historically Qatari. Although she is listed to appear at the glittering state banqueting that will take place on the evening of December 3rd, the palace has confirmed she will not stand in the receiving line, saving her energy as instructed by her medical advisors. The Queen is still anticipated to participate in the state visit's farewells on the second and final day, December 4th. The trip made by Emir and his wife, arranged at the initiative of King Charles, is a key diplomatic event for the United Kingdom, with the aim of deepening bonds between Britain and Qatar. With Queen Camilla pacing herself, other senior royals, including Princess Kate and Prince William, have stepped up to assist in the ceremonial events. Many people found Princess Kate's attendance at the Horse Guards Parade and other spots to be impressive. Following completion of chemotherapy for cancer earlier this year, the Princess of Wales is gradually entering royal duties again, after spending most of 2024 out of the public eye. Although she did not make a state banquet appearance, she took part for the day, a heartwarming sign of her convalescence. With regard to Queen Camilla, this health issue has turned out to be a slow and debilitating one. Though she returned to work briefly on November 12th, where she joked about having a bit of coughing going on, her illness has required her to step back from several high-profile engagements. She missed the Gladiator II premiere on November 13th and the Royal Variety performance on November 22nd, both occasions where her presence was greatly missed.
Camilla confirming she's overcoming pneumonia, skipping the cold of the outdoor events and heading straight for the warmth of the palace.
The Queen's agenda for the state visit from Qatar has been meticulously crafted to meet her medical advisor's needs. Despite the re-establishment of her pneumonia, post-viral fatigue-related after-effects, lack of energy, and residual symptoms may take weeks to clear up completely. For now, Her Majesty is taking each day as it comes, focusing on gradual recovery while remaining involved in key royal responsibilities. Queen Camilla is set to take on yet another role on December 4th, to see off Qatar's royal party, and also to receive the Entente Littéraire Prize ceremony together with France's First Lady, Brigitte Macron. the next day in London. While her recovery has been slower than hoped, there's optimism that Queen Camilla will regain her full strength in time. Until now, the country is keeping faith in her and hoping for her soon and smooth recovery. How has the family taken the news of this heartbreaking news of the Queen? A year of trials. Queen Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, recently spoke out about the immense difficulty his mother and King Charles have had to deal with over the last 2 years, calling it a hell of a 2 years. During an interview with the Daily Telegraph, Tom indicated that the royal duo faced significant health problems, which, in turn, reduced the couple's public appearances. Parker Bowles reported that King Charles had been diagnosed with an unspecified disease in February.
And again, we're following breaking news. Buckingham Palace just revealing moments ago that King Charles III has been diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer.
And Queen Camilla had been ill with pneumonia after having traveled on the royal tour in Australia and Samoa. He characterized his mother as a tough woman who wanted to overcome the difficulties. He mentioned that he would be spending Christmas with his mother and the king at Sandringham for the first time in many years. According to him, Camilla had expressed her desire for them to spend the holiday together, saying it had been a long time since they last celebrated Christmas as a family. He explained that the difficult experiences of the past 2 years had made such moments even more meaningful. Parker Bowles highlighted how deeply it affected Camilla to miss Remembrance Sunday this year due to her illness. He remarked that the occasion was very important to her, and went on to say that although she suffered from a number of health issues, she had already returned to her royal functions before she was completely recovered. He characterized her as tough, but also admitted that the difficulties had not been straightforward. Reflecting on his mother's past, Parker Bowles also spoke about the intense scrutiny she faced during the tumultuous 1990s, particularly during King Charles's highly publicized divorce from Princess Diana. He recalled the barbaric treatment Camilla endured, describing how the paparazzi and relentless media attention became a routine part of their lives. He went on to say that it had been normal to count the photographers at the gate or identify who was peeping through the bushes, and though it seemed natural then, it was undoubtedly cruel. Parker Bowles revealed he had long ago learned to stay out of the media's theatrical circus related to his mother, King Charles, and his stepbrothers, Princes William and Harry. He confessed that it had been very shocking to see what they all endured during that period. Despite these past and recent struggles, Parker Bowles emphasized that Camilla's ability to persevere and stay grounded demonstrated her incredible strength and resilience. He also shared that King Charles's cancer treatment was progressing well, with doctors offering positive updates. Apart from the Queen's sickness from pneumonia, what other news was also shared? A heartbreaking loss. Queen Camilla is heartbroken after the loss of Beth, one of her treasured dogs. Beth, a rescue terrier adopted by Camilla from Battersea Dogs and Cats Home in 2011, had been a constant source of love and joy in the Queen's life. Too bad, Beth had to be put down at the weekend as a consequence of an untreatable tumor diagnosis. It was expressed as a sad farewell to Beth, the Queen's beloved companion from Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, who had brought immense joy in various moments, whether during walks, assisting with official duties, or simply curled up by the fire. Beth's bond with Queen Camilla was so strong that the little terrier even left her mark on a historic moment. Both Beth and Bluebell, Camilla's other rescue dog, were honored with goldwork motifs embroidered on the Queen's coronation gown.
This is Her Majesty the Queen's coronation dress, and it was worn on one of the most important and memorable days in the Queen's reign, her coronation, which took place on the 2nd of June, 1953.
A symbol of their place in her heart, Beth was more than a pet. She was a constant companion, making numerous appearances alongside Camilla at royal engagements. In 2022, Beth teamed up with Camilla for an episode of For the Love of Dogs against Paul O'Grady and his sausage dog, Sausage, in a loyalty test. Beth, ever the loyal friend, ignored distractions like toys and treats to run straight back to Camilla, winning the challenge. Beth in 2020 not only showed herself to be more than a companion, but she grew into Camilla's official job. At the opening of a newly set-up kennels at Battersea Dogs and Cats home, Beth was asked to do something special to unveil a commemorative plaque. A sausage attached to rope led Beth pulling down a curtain, much to Camilla's amusement and laughter as she cheered on her animal companion's antics. Camilla's link to Battersea Dogs and Cats. Home runs in both a deep and personal way. As a patron of the charity, she has long been an advocate of animal welfare. Beth and Bluebell were both adopted from the charity, both being taken in by Camilla's family, Beth being an unwanted puppy of just 3 months old in 2011. Bluebell followed in 2012 after being found abandoned in a London park, suffering from a painful skin condition. Over the years, Beth became a symbol of the Queen's love for rescue animals, often seen by her side on walks, at home curled up by the fire, or accompanying her during her royal duties. Losing Beth has, no doubt, created a deep gap in Camilla's life. Queen's heartache is experienced by many, if not all, who have watched Beth's transformation from shelter dog to royal companion. While the loss is immense, Camilla can take comfort in knowing that Beth lived a life filled with love, warmth, and care, bringing joy to not just her owner, but to everyone who met her. What made Beth so special to Queen Camilla and the rest of the royal family? Queen Camilla's unbreakable bond with her beloved dogs. The Coronation Year, a documentary which aired in December 2023, gave viewers an intimate glimpse into King Charles's first year as monarch, including sweet moments of the royal couple spending time with their furry companions. In one heartwarming scene, Camilla and Charles are seen walking their dogs at Balmoral Estate in Scotland. Camilla, dressed casually in jeans and a jacket, and Charles, in his signature tweed jacket and tie, shared playful moments with Beth and Bluebell. The Queen commented on how much Big Husband loved Beth, and that Charles chuckled, calling Beth the funniest dog ever, and saying, "She is very special." Camilla fondly mentioned that the nice thing about returning from tours was the warm welcome from the dogs, who were always so happy to see her. She added that the best part was that they never talked back. Her words highlighted the simple joys that Beth and Bluebell brought into their lives, offering unconditional love and comfort amid the pressures of royal duties.
Queen Camilla and King Charles III are suffering a painful loss. The British royal family shared on November 18th that Camilla's beloved dog, Beth, has died.
Her relationship with the Queen to the dogs, especially that of Beth, was definitely unbreakable. And Beth's recent demise was undoubtedly a lot of grief. Camilla once shared in an interview that Beth had been through so much before coming to her, and she wanted to give the little terrier the loving home she deserved. Soon after taking Beth home, Camilla felt the need for a friend, and so she went back to Battersea to pick up Bluebell. She recalled how Bluebell had been found wandering in the woods, severely malnourished, covered in sores, and almost hairless. The scavenge staff cared for Bluebell, and Camilla adopted her into their family. She described Bluebell as very sweet, but added that she was just a tiny bit neurotic. Although Camilla adored her dogs, she had some ground rules. In a past interview with the BBC, she humorously admitted that while she loved them dearly, they weren't allowed to sleep on the bed. If we just gave up the fight, they would take us over completely. she quipped. The Queen's love and care for her dogs were evident in the way she spoke about them and included them in her life. Whether walking her, playing with her at Balmoral, or simply being there as company after extended tours, Beth and Bluebell were family more than pets. Beth's passing has undoubtedly left a void in Camilla's life, as the little dog brought so much joy and laughter over the years. Beth's story, from being an unwanted and abandoned puppy to becoming a treasured part of the royal household, is a testament to Camilla's compassion and commitment to animal welfare. On account of the relationship between the Queen and Beth for the Queen, Beth represented an exemplar of pure love and devotion, an exemplar of which will be sadly missed, but warmly treasured. Has the Queen ever faced other health challenges? Other health setbacks? Pneumonia is not the only health issue that Queen Camilla has endured in recent times. In early 2023, Buckingham Palace revealed that Camilla, the Queen Consort, tested positive for COVID-19 for the second time in a year. Her diagnosis came shortly after she had to cancel a scheduled visit to the West Midlands, with the palace initially describing her condition as a seasonal illness. At the time, the palace shared that Camilla had regrettably cancelled all public engagements for the week and extended her apologies to those who had been expecting her. At the same time, complete vaccination against COVID-19 was also verified. This wasn't her first encounter with the virus. A year prior, in February 2022, Camilla and her husband, King Charles III, both contracted COVID-19. They isolated separately, adhering to health protocols, though neither required hospitalization. Charles, who was the Prince of Wales at the time, tested positive shortly before Camilla's diagnosis. The situation drew attention when Queen Elizabeth II, then 95 years old, tested positive for COVID-19 shortly afterward. The palace confirmed that the late Queen had only mild cold-like symptoms and continued her duties as much as her health allowed. Her tenacity paralleled the resilience she demonstrated during her rule until her demise in September 2022 at the age of 96.
A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The palace has just issued this statement. It says the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon.
Camilla's bout with COVID-19 in early 2023 was part of a larger awareness of health problems that occasionally set aside her packed royal schedule. Although she made a full recovery, her episodes with pneumonia and COVID-19 underline the difficulties of successfully playing a demanding public role while managing one's personal health. The Queen's willingness to listen to medical guidance and modify her schedule as appropriate encapsulated her commitment to her role, but also to self-care. None, though in the wake of these health difficulties, Camilla has maintained her royal duties, demonstrating resilience and poise. Did Queen Camilla's health struggles deepen her love for King Charles? Love under pressure. Recent revelations have highlighted Queen Camilla's deep concerns about King Charles's health and his rigorous efforts to get back well. Reports suggest that the Queen has been terrified and fearful that her husband might be pushing himself too hard in his efforts to resume a full schedule, following his diagnosis with cancer earlier this year. Friends of Camilla have revealed that the Queen's anxieties are increasingly having a negative emotional impact on her. And who could blame her? The bond between King Charles and Queen Camilla has stood the test of time, enduring personal and public challenges that many would find insurmountable. From the criticism that they endured for the first few months of their relationship, all the way through to the ultimate acceptance of the late Queen Elizabeth II and of the public, their love story has not been paved in roses. But Charles continues to fight duty on the road to recovery, Buckingham Palace staff have already begun ambitious ones, planning with a full schedule of international travel for the king on their agenda for the year ahead. This covers, for example, a normal overseas trip program, which palace insiders think is an expression of the king's upbeat view on his own condition and a deep conviction behind the soul-body-mind union. One senior palace source told reporters that it was encouraging to see such plans being made, as it signals a positive trajectory in the king's recovery. According to the source, the unwavering commitment of Charles toward his royal duties and his conviction toward integrated health and well-being have prepared him to face the challenge with open mind. However, for Queen Camilla, watching her husband throw himself into his duties so soon has been understandably nerve-wracking. Looking into Charles overstriding himself during the recovery has produced anxiety in her. As someone who has been by his side through life's highs and lows, she has always been fiercely protective of him, and this situation is no different. Their love story is one for the ages, a romance that began decades ago, weathered countless storms, and eventually blossomed into a partnership that now leads the monarchy. Camilla's caring for her beloved consort shows the intensity of their relationship. Despite their shared strength and resilience, it's clear that the weight of the situation is taking its toll on her, as anyone in her position would feel the same. With this heartbreaking announcement, what will be the future of Queen Camilla? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.